Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. 3 and 2 on YouTube with the money picks. 3 and 1 on Patreon. And I told you, we are an avalanche. We are coming. A lot of people are saying they lost last week. Not us. Another week of us taking from Vegas. Let's get to the first game. We got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Houston Texans. Chargers are -5. I got the Chargers to win in the cover. This would be one that is enticing that you would want to take a flyer on. But for me, man, this Chargers team just has too many injuries on the injury report. And when I'm looking at this team, I'm not so sure Herbert is healthy. They lose another starting offensive lineman. And we know the Texans aren't a great team, but they're a physical team. Lovey is going to have them ready to compete. I still think the Chargers win by a touchdown, but I think you'll have to sweat for this. Texans look pretty good against the Bears. They should have won that game. We saw how they worked that into a push. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. Bills are -3.5. Money. How about my Dolphins pick last week? I have to take a little bit of credit for that. But even with that being said, I got the Bills -3.5. I know about the injuries in their secondary. I am a little bit concerned about it. And we won money with Baltimore last week. You know, everything's saying Lawson's taking Baltimore. No, this Baltimore secondary has issues. They got 2 good corners. The nickelback can't cover anyone. Kyle Hamilton can't cover anything. I think the Bills get 3 or 4 explosive plays. Those explosive plays they didn't have against the Dolphins secondary. Ravens, Lamar Jackson was great, and I think he's going to be great again. I'm just not seeing a big, active, fluent Ravens run game against the Bills front 7. These Bills linebackers are dogs, and no one wants to talk about them. Bills winning the cover, making a money pick against the Baltimore Ravens. Next game, we're going to London. We got my Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints. Minnesota is -2.5. You tell me. And I am against London games, even though I have a lot of fans over there. I'm just putting that out there into the universe. I got the Vikings to win in the cover. And there isn't a lot of science here. The Saints just didn't show up last week. You're going to lose games in this league. Teams are going to beat you that you're better than. But this Saints team didn't show up. I am worried about it. And this Vikings team really should have lost to Detroit. I know we hit that money pick with the +6.5. But the Vikings should have lost to Detroit. Even with that being said, I think Justin Jefferson makes the big plays. Famous Jameis Winston's just not able to get it into his playmakers' hands. And we're obviously seeing Kamara. There's something wrong with him. He's not running the same. That rib is really becoming an issue. I think the Vikings run it better than the Saints, and I think the Vikings throw it better than the Saints. Vikings win in London. Next game, Thursday Night Football. We got the Miami Dolphins, Tua, at the Cincinnati Bengals. Dolphins are +3.5. Dolphins winning the cover. And we've been on the Dolphins since day one, and I wanted to make this a money pick, but we can't. We have to be respectful of this injury report. I posted it on Instagram. This injury report is beyond gigantic, and it's beyond problematic for me. I still think the Dolphins find a way to win this game, but we have to be careful. If we see Theodore Bridgewater get off this game, maybe even throw the money in the Bengals' direction. Get off this game. If Teddy Bridgewater walks out in the tunnel, you saw the 2 passes he threw against the Buffalo Bills, correct? We all saw that. I just think the Dolphins make bigger plays. And this Bengals offense, I'm not sold on it. I knew they would be good against the Jets defense, but this Miami defense is on a completely different level and stratosphere. Miami wins and covers in a big surprise on Thursday night. What's new? Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks, Geno, at the Detroit Lions. Lions are minus 5.5. Money. Lions winning the cover, making a money pick. And the Lions have been damn near printing us Gennaro this year. I'm looking for the Lions to win this game. And when the spread came out, I saw -6, -5.5. I'm like, oh, bro, that's a little bit too much. The Seahawks team battled against the Falcons. But no, this Lions team has a different level of explosion. And I think the Seattle offensive line is the difference in this game. Now, the Detroit defensive line isn't anything to write home about. The Aiden Hutchinson hype is a little bit too much. But I think Detroit has the better pass rush. I think they get to Geno Smith. And I think the Lions come out with a chip on their shoulder. I think Dan Campbell leads these dudes in with a little bit of energy and verb that they had against the Vikings, and they just choked the game away. They should have won that one. They covered, but they should have won. Lions winning the cover at home, Ford Field, against the Seahawks team that I just think is out of energy. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are +2. I got the Falcons to win in the cover. This isn't a money pick like last week. I like Arthur Smith. I like Cordero Patterson. But that's not enough for me to make this a money pick. But I do think they come in with an upset here, another upset. Now, you got the Browns. The Browns got a great offensive line, great running game, and we know one of Atlanta's areas of struggle is defensive line. Outside of Grady Jarrett, no one can stop the run. That's why I'm a little bit worried. But I'm telling you, this Atlanta offense is hitting stride. They're finding a lot of fluidity, and I'm really liking the play-action game. They get Kyle Pitts involved. I think he goes off. Falcons winning the cover down in Atlanta in a surprise. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Patreon is $5 a month. Let's get this money. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears at the New York Giants. Giants are -3.5. I don't like this hook. It was at -3 all day yesterday. Then, of course, when we come on here, we get the hook. Giants -3.5. I'll take it, though. Giants winning the cover. Listen, the Bears showed some fortitude pulling that game out of the Texans. Yes, it was a push. Yes, they didn't play good. But the Bears are going to keep this close, and they're going to run the ball. But I think the Giants' offense gets going. Last night against the Cowboys was abysmal, and it was abysmal because they couldn't block the pass rush. The Bears don't have much pass rush. I think that's the difference in this game. I think the Giants play better defense. I think they shut down Justin Fields. Giants win and cover even with the 3.5. Next game, we got the Washington No-Names at the Dallas Cowboys. No-Names are +3. Money. No-Names winning the cover. And I'm going to take heat for this. I'm going to take criticism for this. But I think we see a bounce-back performance. I think we see this no-names team come back from the dead. We know the last 3 years with Riverboat Ron, they don't start playing ball in the week 4. It's tragic, it's pathetic, but it is what it is. I think the no-names come out different. And I think eventually, this Cooper Rush thing is going to pay a little bit of a tax to the Cowboys. This Cowboys defense has been phenomenal. And we saw that no-names offensive line get absolutely chewed up and spit out by the Eagles defensive line last week. I just think Carson makes more plays than Cooper Rush. Call me crazy, but that's where I'm at. And there's going to be one shocking upset this week, and this is where I'm putting my money. Some books have it at no names plus 3.5. That is very, very alluring, but of course that will get chewed down. Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. Titans are plus 3. I got the Titans to cover, Colts to win. I'm not punting here. I'm not taking the easy way out. I think this game is decided late by a field goal. The Titans opened with a plus 3.5, and that was very alluring, but it's not there anymore. And we can talk a lot about the Colts win last week and the Titans win last week. Titans did not play good in that second half. It was abysmal, and they just held on. Also, the Colts, if the Chiefs' special teams could catch a punt, that game would have been completely different. I don't want people to get too excited about either team. I actually think this could be the Jags division. Give me the Colts to win by 2 or 1 points. Titans cover. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Philadelphia Eagles. Hurts. Jags are plus 6.5. I got the Jags to cover, Eagles to win. This Jags defensive line is for real, and we've been on the Jags for the last 2 years. They've won us a lot of money, won us money on Patreon this year. I don't think the Jags swoop in or claw in, pun intended, Jags. I don't think they claw into Lincoln Financial and get this win. But I do think they cover, and I do think they play pretty decent. But this Eagles squad, they're at a different explosion level. Even though we're seeing young Lawrence play better, give me A.J. Brown, give me Devontae Smith, give me Goddard, one of the most underrated tight ends in this league. And do I need to say the offensive line? Jags cover this plus 6.5, but I think the big difference here is whose offensive line is going to help the quarterback more. Give me the Eagles' offensive line. Eagles win this game, but Jags keep it close and cover. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are minus 3.5. Steelers winning the cover. I've been saying this for 2 years. When your offense needs a little bit of home cooking, when you're out of rhythm and you need a little bit of groove and easy opponent, you put the Jets and sidelines defense in front of you. Steelers get to 24 this game, and they win and cover. This Jets offense with Joe Flacco just isn't good enough. He doesn't know how to look at Garrett Wilson. He just throws it down to Bryce Hall. And the Bengals, I know the Bengals came out and played good in the first half, but that Bengals defense, they were leaving open spots, and Joe was letting them off the hook. Mike Tomlin's going to close those spots. I think we see 2 turnovers from Joe Flacco, and I think we see the Steelers' offense play a wee bit better. It's a lot easier to play offense when you're getting turnovers and you're in the field position battle. That's what the Steelers do. Steelers winning the cover, whatever they're calling that field now. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are minus 2. Money, money, money. Money. We got to gamble a little bit. Raiders winning the cover, making a money pick. Yes, I understand. This might be one for me to stay away from. This might be me trying to prove my brain is bigger than other people when I don't need to do that. But this Raiders team, the right side of their offensive line is abysmal. But the other parts of the team I like. And when I look at this Broncos team, I see a team that's struggling. I see a team that didn't deserve to beat the San Francisco 49ers. I see Russell Wilson's offense looking like Teddy Bridgewater's offense. This game's going to come down to 2 things. Who gets more explosive plays? Give me Carr. and who uses the home field advantage. I like the Raiders, man. I like them being at home. The Broncos aren't going to get that mile-high pop. The Raiders aren't going to get tired in the late third, early fourth quarter. Raiders win and cover this game. There isn't a lot of science. I just know they'll do it. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. Cardinals are +2. Cardinals winning the cover in an upset here. Listen, the Saints didn't show up. And, I would give the Panthers credit if they deserve credit, but they simply don't. They did not show up. Baker Mayfield played terrible. He was missing open guys the whole game. And this Baker Mayfield experiment is going similar to the Sam Darnold experiment. At a certain point, you need a quarterback to make plays. Say what you will about Kyler Murray. Maybe he's small. Maybe he's not inconsistent. But give me Kyler Murray in a game against Baker Mayfield. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to overclassify it. Cardinals winning the cover on the road. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Green Bay Packers. New England is +10.5. Mac Jones is hurt. Mac Jones was absolutely phenomenal against the Ravens, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal. It's unfortunate he's hurt. I got the Patriots to cover, Packers to win. This is more about me being cautious about the Packers wide receiver situation. What's going on with that? What's the prognosis of some of those dudes? And listen, maybe I'm going a little bit of Bill Belichick pixie dust, saying the Patriots cover because we know Brian Hoyer is bad. Maybe we see Zappy, the third string quarterback. I don't know what we're going to see from the Patriots, but I do think they play good defense. I do think this Packers offense has a lot to work on. Packers win, Patriots cover. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are -2. I got the 49ers to win in the cover. And last week was a good performance from the Rams against the Arizona Cardinals. You got to give them credit, and I will give them their flowers. But I think the 49ers bounce back here. And it's hard betting with Jimmy G. It is hard taking this man's side after that safety last Sunday. It is hard taking this man's side after some of the throws he made in Mile High. But I think the 49ers get back to the run game. And some of you guys are saying maybe Mike McDaniel took that run game and the offensive ideas down to Miami, and maybe that's why Shanahan's struggling. I think Shanahan answers here. I think this is a very close game. I think this is a rugged game. And I don't think the Rams have found full rhythm yet. If they did, I would go with the Rams. You know how I roll. But I'm going 49ers to win in the cover. I think the 49ers play better defense, and I think they run this rock better. Last game of the week, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucs are +2.5. I'm going Chiefs to win in the cover. Last week, on the last money pick of the week, I said Bucs to win and cover, make it a money pick if the injury situation is bad. And the injury situation got bad. All the receivers are out. I should get credit for a 3-1 week. We'll see if anyone catches that. I just took the L because we got to give some of the haters an L from me once in a while after all this winning. But with that being said, I got the Chiefs to win in the cover. They completely deconstructed against the Colts. There's not many other ways to say it. They completely deconstructed against the Colts. The Chiefs lost that game. The Colts didn't win it. And as for the Bucs, man, when I'm looking at the Bucs, I'm worried about this injury report. It's hard to talk X's and O's, talk ball with y'all when, you got Scotty Miller running routes for Brady against the Green Bay Packers. Chiefs winning the cover. We'll maybe do another video about that later in the week. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet and the sweatiest gambling show on the internet. Let's get this money.